Having your horse stand around before you ride off is such a big thing to encourage. Nobody likes their horse moving off when you get on. So even when I'm in a hurry, I really try to make a point of standing for a bit. If he goes a little quick, I don't want to discourage him. It'll be a one rein stop or a turn or bend, anything I can to just encourage him to come back. It's very important, when you ride your horse out, that you're super relaxed, but in a position to deal with things. I don't ride him in a way that I'm ready and waiting and tense and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm making sure, if he spooks at things and has problems, my bum's tucked underneath me and I'm keeping my knees up into the swell. So I talked last time like we were doing a bit of arena education and, I'm teaching him this, that and the other. And right now it's a period where I like my horses to just get out and do easier stuff. We're still going to work on his education here and there. When he decides to jog off on his own like he did, it's like, well, nobody asked you to jog off, so I'm just going to discourage that. I'm going to stop him and back him up and tell him he did it wrong or he's, not behaving. And these are things, if you think about them like preschoolers, somebody's walked a horse through the paddock, and of course if he was here on his own, he'd race over there and talk to him. So he's got to get used to the fact that he doesn't get to make those decisions anymore. And we're obviously not having a big argument about it. But he's just like, well, why can't we go over there and talk to him? I was like, well, no, you got to stay here and you got to do what I ask you to do. But that's, they're babies, that's what happens. And the loose rein is just, it's important to let him know that, I'm not doing anything when I pick him up here. It's like, hey, slow down, turn, good job, I'll leave you alone. In other words, when he's, maintaining this speed and he's not doing anything too radical, I'll leave him alone. And I believe that's really important to a young horse. Some people will ride with, contact at this point. They'll be short, they'll be hanging on the reins. I'm trying to let him know when he's good and when I need him to do something. G'day, thank you so much for watching. If you could like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, that would be awesome. Thank you. Cheers. And it's obviously fun for him, you're kind of it's like taking a kid out of the classroom and teaching them outside. He's got more to look at. It's just a bit more fun. We can still do little educating things out here. But it doesn't feel like you're in a classroom being schooled. He took off nice, just a tiny bit quick, so that's why I turned a little early. And it was just like when we're jogging, I don't care where he's going too much. I don't want him running too close to any hazards. So we're coming up to a tree. I want to make a decision long before we get there which side of that tree we're going to go. But if he chose to head straight down here, I wouldn't care less. Oh, now. Whoop. Bit slippery on the grass. And there are little decisions we made too, you know, where he, that last little lap, he said, well, you know, we could go down here. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So, you know, he gets out of that area we were in and he's going fast and it's a little downhill and he goes, yay, we're going somewhere and it's a little downhill, I'm going to speed up. And it's like, you kind of, I need you to maintain that speed. That's your responsibility now, is like, we're going to have some set speeds and I really want you to hold them. He's also maintaining his speed well because, you know, he obviously doesn't have to run away from me. He's pretty cool about what I'm doing. The most that's going to cause him to speed up is he kind of going somewhere a little exciting and his emotions take over. It's like, yeah, let's go down there. Oh, no. That's better. Very cool. Oh. The easiest thing I ever found was making a horse go faster. Because again, like we were just saying before, you know, their instinct is to run away from things that bother them. So I'm trying to really encourage him to, you know, go slow, take your time, absorb things. When they're listening and they're happy and they trust me and everything's going great, we will certainly add speed, because for, you know, quite a lot of events we're going to need that speed. I think next time if he's cantering along somewhere and he's nice and happy, I might even ask for a little bit of that flexion of the canter. Oh. And I kept my hand still and he kind of stuck his nose out. He ran into that pressure. And that's why I always ask for that little bit after the stop where you're round and soft. So I want him soft going into the stop, during the stop, and after the stop. But I think after the stop's a big deal. You see a few people, especially if their horse stops well, you know, they're holding him collected, and I'm only going to do this once because I don't want him to start thinking about it. You know, people collect them up and go, or, you know, in the moment they stop, they throw that rein away. Well, the horse starts stopping and sticking his nose out looking for where he can put his nose, where that slack suddenly got created. Whereas if he's stopping off my seat and voice, there's no need for me to do that. He's collected, or, you know, he should stay there during and after, and then I'll give back. And there's no pressure when he's listening. Like, and that's the other thing, if he does that correct, there's not an ounce of pressure on him. And if I sit down and said, whoa, and he didn't stop, well, then I would put pressure on him. And in his case, it'd be one rein. A few people ask him about using bosals and hackamores. Well, back in the day, like, there's a lot of one rein work. Because these things, if you lean into with two reins, can be quite a problem. Anyway, he's done a great job for the day. And I'm giving him a big rub because he's doing the best he can with the human he got stuck with. Go out and give you a horse a rub for the same reason. Oh, another thing just before I go, I like to hop off in the middle of my work area and call it a day then, and that could be the middle of the arena. In this case, it's sort of, we've been working around this paddock, but I've stopped in the middle. It's like that variation of don't run home on your horse. I'm not going to go over there where I saddled him up to get unsaddled. I'm not going to keep going back to the same spot. He's worked around here. I'm going to stop here, loosen the girth, and lead him back because I don't want him gravitating one way or the other way. Anyway, very, very good. All right, catch you on the next one.